At exactly 2:17 a.m., her security camera activated, even though nothing was supposed to be there. A faint electrical hum seeps into the air, barely audible, like an appliance running in another room. Then, camera static, a soft crackle, a distortion that lasts just long enough to feel intentional. The system was motion activated. It only recorded when something moved. That night, it recorded for 11 minutes. A pause. When she reviewed the footage the next morning, she realized someone or something had been standing over her while she slept. Another brief stretch of silence. No sound woke her. No alarm was triggered. No door opened. Yet the camera saw it clearly.
The next alert came the following night. 2:43 a.m. Motion detected. Bedroom camera. She didn't even sit up when the notification buzzed. Half awake, she assumed it was nothing. A curtain shifting, a change in air pressure, the kind of meaningless movement cameras exaggerate. In the morning, she checked the footage while making coffee. The recording showed her asleep, still, undisturbed. But the bedroom door, the one she always closed before bed, was no longer fully shut. At the start of the clip, it rested exactly where she left it. Then, over the span of several minutes, it moved. Not a sudden swing, not the push of a draft, just a slow adjustment, an inch, then another, as if someone on the other side had tested it, carefully, quietly. She stared at the screen longer than she meant to. There's a logical explanation, she told herself out loud. Houses settle, air vents create pressure shifts, old hinges slide. She watched the rest of the video. Nothing entered, nothing left. The alerts continued. Not every night, just often enough to feel regular. 1:12 a.m., 3:09 a.m., 2:51 a.m. Always the bedroom camera, never the others. Some recordings showed changes so small they were almost embarrassing to worry about. A shadow in the corner appearing darker than it should. A brief pulse of light across the wall, too soft to be headlights. A faint flicker, like something passing close to the lens without ever becoming visible. And then there were the sounds. Not loud, just subtle intrusions beneath the silence. A soft click, a fabric-like shift, once what resembled a slow exhale. Each time, the camera detected motion. Each time, the frame showed nothing causing it. She began double-checking everything before bed. Locked windows, latched doors, no loose objects, no fans running. She even placed a glass of water on the nightstand one evening, marking the level with a pen. By morning, the water hadn't moved, but the camera had recorded 6 minutes of motion beside it. During the day, the house felt harmless. Sunlight erased every doubt. Rooms looked smaller, ordinary. She almost laughed at herself for feeling unsettled. Just technology acting up, she decided. A sensor problem, software misreading shadows. She adjusted the sensitivity settings, restarted the system, updated the firmware. For one night, there were no alerts, and she slept deeply. Then, 3 nights later, the alert came again. But this time, it stayed recording.
One night, she was too tired to check. No reviewing footage, no scanning frames, no trying to prove something was wrong. She woke late, Sunlight already filled the room. For a few seconds, everything felt normal again. Then she saw the notification. Motion detected, 2:17 a.m. Recording length, 7 minutes. 7 minutes. Longer than any of the others. Her thumb hovered over the screen before pressing play. The video opened with the usual empty room. She watched herself sleeping, still beneath the blanket, breathing slow. The timestamp read 2:17:03 a.m. Then the camera adjusted, just slightly, refocusing, trying to understand what it was seeing. And then it became visible. A figure, standing beside the bed, already there, not entering the frame, not arriving, just present. It didn't move, didn't shift its weight, didn't breathe. 7 full minutes of stillness. The shape was wrong in ways the mind struggled to measure. Too solid in some places, indistinct in others, like the image refused to settle. But the worst part, it never looked at the camera, not once. It didn't acknowledge the lens, didn't scan the room. Its attention was fixed in only one place, her, lying there, unaware. The footage didn't show it watching the room, it showed it watching her sleep. And the audio track carried nothing but that faint electrical hum, and buried beneath it, a second rhythm, slow, patient, waiting. What would you do if you saw this in your own footage?
She watched the recording again, and again, and again. At first, it was disbelief driving her. The need to prove she had misunderstood what she saw. She slowed the footage, zoomed in, enhanced contrast, replayed every second of those 7 minutes until the timestamps felt burned into memory. That's when she noticed something worse. The motion detection box, the digital marker that tells the system when movement begins, didn't appear when the figure showed up. It appeared after it was already standing there. The camera hadn't captured it entering, hadn't recorded a door opening, hadn't registered a change in the room. According to the system's own data, the room was empty until it wasn't. She stopped sleeping in the bedroom. Then she stopped sleeping in the apartment. Lights stayed on at night. Television running for noise. Phone clutched in her hand like something that could anchor her to being awake. But exhaustion always won. And every morning brought another alert logged at 2:17 a.m. Always while she slept. Always from that room. Never when she was watching. 3 days later, she packed a bag. No announcement, no explanation to neighbors. She left the keys on the counter and walked out. The cameras were still active. She hadn't even thought to turn them off. She just wanted distance, space, a place where 2:17 didn't mean anything. For 2 nights, her phone stayed silent. No alerts, no recordings. She began to feel the first fragile sense of relief. Until the 3rd morning, a notification waited for her. Motion detected, 2:17 a.m. From the apartment. The empty apartment. She opened the clip with shaking hands. The bedroom was vacant. Bare walls. No furniture. No one sleeping in the bed. Yet the recording lasted 6 minutes. The camera strained to focus, as if something stood there, in the exact place it always had. No one ever explained what the cameras recorded. There were no signs of entry, no tampering with the system, no reflections, no hidden wiring, no evidence of anyone being there. Just 7 minutes, repeated across multiple nights, of something that should not have existed in a locked, empty space. Security cameras are designed to capture reality. They don't imagine. They don't dream. They don't fall asleep. So what did they capture? Do you think this was paranormal? Or something we simply don't understand yet? Could sleep make us vulnerable to things we can't perceive while awake? Tell me your theory in the comments. I read every one. If this story made you check the corners of your room, subscribe. Because next time, we're looking at another case where cameras saw more than they should. Sound. One distorted tone stretches into the air, then cuts to silence.